Hinkle Fieldhouse is sold out today, 9,100 strong. Now to our basketball insider, John Rothstein, with more on Providence Super Soft, Ben Bentel.
Well, Dave, everybody knows that Chris Dunn is at the epicenter of everything for Providence, but Ben Bentel has quickly become one of the better big men in the country. He has made a quantum leap in production from this season to last. Another All-Big East player in tow for Ed Cooley.
Leading scorer, John, in the Big East, 18.8 points a game, coming off a career best 32 in the Friars' last outing, December 21st on the road at UMass. A constant double-double threat. Butler's Andrew Strabitz, the only Rhode Island native in this game. Providence does not have any Ocean State natives on its roster. What an atmosphere today here in Indy. Underway, Big East Showdown on CBS Sports Network. Top 15 game, or the second ever in Hinkle history. The last in 2013, when 13th ranked Butler beat Gonzaga on a last-second Roosevelt Jones jumper. Spencer, baseline, a wild-looking shot, maybe. Bullock finds a loose change, 10 to shoot. Here's Chris Dunn.
Dunn is a point guard, but he has help coming off the bench. And Cartwright, he is a facilitator at that point. Dunn leads the Big East in assists.
La Mamba the miss. Butler gets possession. Ed Cooley, year 5 for the Providence native. Back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances. Last year, lost in the second round to Dayton after the Flyers got through the first 4. Here's Jones. Kellen Dunham has been ice cold in the last 4 games. Can he get on track today? A big key for Butler.
Providence open up in a man-to-man. The guy that Providence really wants to keep out of the paint is going to be Roosevelt Jones, who we talked about. Gets in the lane as you get a walk on Travis.
Second year, Chris Holtman took over for Brandon Miller after the former star Butler guard, starting his second year, had some health issues, off-court problems. Chris Holtman replaced him, did a fantastic job, was the interim coach until January of last year, and then named the full-time Butler coach after that. 23 wins last season, 3rd round of the NCAA tournament, lost in overtime to Notre Dame. Up top jumper, put up and in. Bullock has got the 3 ball for the first points of the day. It's 8th triple of the season.
Bullock coming off a high screen. Dunn getting in the ball right where he's ready to shoot it. When you talk about Dunham, I know he struggled from the field, but he's got to get an open shot. Got to create on that one. What you want to try to do when you're struggling from the field is try to get an easy shot in stride.
Dunn up top, trying to answer. Front iron, miss. And Lewis, the NC State transfer, has a long rebound in the paint. Tyler Lewis dribbles baseline around Bullock. As Chris Holtman told us pregame, Stevie's always the smallest player on the court, Tyler Lewis, but he's got to create. Travis up top. 3 rattles out. Weidman follows up.
Weidman continues to impress on the inside, cleaning up the missed shot. And getting back on Lewis, he has really increased the pace of this Butler program, getting out in transition, leading the Big East in offensive production. Butler Bulldogs not used to doing that year in and year out.
Lindsay feeds down low for Bentel, off the glass and in.
I'll tell you, Lindsay has come in off the bench and replaced Fazekas, who's out with mono. And Lindsay has just picked up where Fazekas left off. Fazekas is an outside jump shoot. Lindsay is an inside player, rebounding, and you saw right there getting to the rim.
Weidman, physical will play with Lamamba, and a foul call on Junior Lamamba, his first.
Well, see Bentel down the low block, up against Weidman, takes it up and uses the glass. Bentel is the most improved player, I think, right now in the Big East.
Numbers skyrocketing, as John talked about. Here's Jones, first spin move toward the basket. And the lefty misses that southpaw layup try of the scoop to the hoop. Here's Lamamba for Providence. Flyers 10 days off. The last game, a big win on on the road at UMass, as we talked about. Bullock baseline jumper a miss. Lindsey tried to keep it alive. It's out of bounds. And Butler gets it back. So 10 days off, Steve, and the Friars, who had been a top 10 team, and Hinkle has never hosted a top 10 matchup in its venerable history. They drop a couple spots to 12. It's still a huge game.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, as we've talked about in the Open, is it, you know, you lose this game, you're already starting out 0-1, and that's tough to do.
Ed Cooley called Roosevelt Jones the best layup shooter in the nation, and he's trying to make hay, getting to the basket. That spin move, the scoop to the hoop, so patented by Roosevelt. And now his 5th year. Butler had a medical redshirt a couple years back. He is something near the basket.
He learned to drive and get a play against bigger players when he was in junior high, played in the church league. Really learned to be efficient around the basket.
Weidman elevates, catches the inbounds pass from Jones and finishes. And Tyler Weidman's got 2 early buckets for Butler.
Weidman was 7 for 7 against Southern Utah in his last game. He's picking up where he left off. Team high 15 points.
Dunn up top, 110 to shoot. Bullock fake the 3. 4 to shoot for Lamamba. Needs some help, and Lewis bails him out with a foul. It'll be the first on Tyler Lewis, and we've got a timeout. Tyler Weidman had that big game against Southern Utah. Steve talked about 7 for 7 and 15 points. Shelvin Mack, Gordon Hayward, 2 tremendous players. Part of Brad Stevens' back-to-back runs to the national championship game. 2010 lost to Duke in this very city at Lucas Oil Field, a couple miles from where we are here on the Butler campus. 2011 to UConn in Houston. And those back-to-back years, Steve, help propel, as we see your keys to the game, Butler where it is now in the Big East.
Yeah, and they keep those in the locker room. They have a place for Shelvin Mack and Gordon Hayward when they come back in the summer. So this is a family-oriented program, and they try to build on tradition. And what a great tradition this building has. The Butler basketball has started a tradition years ago that is just growing and growing.
John has more.
Well, guys, you know, it's interesting. I was spending time with the Butler staff earlier today, and they talked about how that team with Mack and Hayward that went to the 2010 national title game not just changed Butler's recruiting and the perception of the program, it altered their league. Remember, Butler was in the Horizon League. It went to the A-10, now in the Big East. That's transcending a program.
John, that is exactly right, because you look at where they were and where they are. The money they put back in, the publicity they have from going to the Final Four has really made this a basketball program perfect for a basketball league.
Weidman has the 2 Butler buckets. Lost the handle, Bullock got hustled, and Bentel. The outlet here for Chris Dunn. Court speed, athleticism, defensive ability. As Chris Holtman told us today, no one does it better than Chris Dunn nationally.
And Ed Cooley loves this kid. He was going to go to Fairfield if Ed Cooley stayed at Fairfield, but they have a great relationship. And I think what I like about Coach Cooley's program is it's built on respect and relationship and culture of the whole program. And Chris Dunn is emblematic of what Coach Cooley wants his teams to be.
Big East Player of the Year last year, Defensive Player of the Year, preseason Big East Player of the Year as well. Chris Dunn, just an incredible background, his story. Disadvantaged youth. He and his brother fought poverty. Mom, who unfortunately has passed away, in and out of jail. They had to fend for themselves, had to gamble to basically put food on the table, play one-on-one with people for money. It was a really tragic circumstance. He's overcome all that to become a big star Providence.
And Cooley said he related to that. And not as bad as Dunn, but tough altogether.
Weidman down low. Has all 6 Butler points. The hammer finish. On a great feed. There's Dunn baseline. Not this time. Keelan Martin into the game. The super 6th man for Butler. And their second leading scorer has just been spectacular off the bench. Steal. Dunn. The lead for Bullock with a hammer. 5 first half points for Bullock. What a pass by Chris Dunn.
And you run the floor if you want the ball. When you're playing with Chris Dunn, you know there's a chance the ball's going to come your way. Bullock sprinting on the break to finish.
Dunn leads the Big East, 7.3 assists per game. Also leads the conference in steals per game. He is Spectacular. Travis baseline. Little jump hook for Andrew Travis, the Rhode Island native. He told us today his parents have made the trip from Portsmouth, about 30 miles from Providence, to come watch the game today. Andrew grew up, as he said, a Rhode Island fan. He's more of a Ram guy than a PC Friar fan.
In the last 5 games, this guy is on fire. I mean, he's shooting at 60, almost 68%. That makes up a little bit for Dunham, who's been struggling from the field.
Ben Bentel soars for the basket for 2. He's got 2 field goals and a lefty finish for the leading scorer in the Big East Conference, leading rebounder for Providence, and 5th best in the league, 8 boards per game. He has been sensational as well. That 1-2 punch, I mean, a lot of teams are going to struggle to stop these guys this year. Benzel gets physical and a foul call.
Now Providence gets the ball out. They're going to run. Look at Dunn. There's 3 guys rolling the lane. And look at Dunn head up. You see the trailer Bullock, who finishes emphatically. And you know, the reason why the Friars were picked 5th in the conference is because Bentel gets to the basket.
Officials, Steve, are going to go to the replay here about that last foul on Bentel. We'll make sure some elbow from Bentel wasn't too high. That could cause a foul to be changed to a flagrant 1. Doubtful will be a 2 for what we saw here. Let's take a look, though, and see what they're looking at right now.
Good physical play. That's good physical play. It's a foul, but that's
a strong man down there.
Well, and you look at Bentel, I like the fact they picked him back up afterwards. It's a common foul. But you know, Bentel is 6'8". He can shoot the 3. He gets to the basket with either hand. And that's why Providence was picked 5th. Nobody realized how good Bentel was going to be this year and the improvements he made over the summer.
They know now. He had 21 points against Arizona and 20 against Michigan State at those Wooden Legacy games out in Fullerton to really put himself on the map. And everyone in the Big East Conference knows about number 0 at this point. Common foul there on Bentel is first. Our officials today, Brian O'Connell, Earl Walton, Doug Showers. Dunham trying to get going. Cannot, another miss. He has been ice cold over the last 4 games. Bentel, good save in the baseline for Lamamba. Lindsay, back down on the 3 try. Weak side rebound for Travis. Here is Jones. Can he get going? Lefty lay-in. You bet. The and 1 for Roosevelt Jones.
He's not fast. He's not flashy. You're not going to see him in the highlights for those kind of things, but you will sure see him in the highlights for the number of makes that he has. He is just phenomenal. And Coach Cooley was talking to us about that, how much respect he has for what Roosevelt Jones does as an undersized 1, 2, 3, or 4 man on the court.
Well, guys, you know, it's interesting about Roosevelt Jones. He might be more comfortable in his own skin than any other player in the country. Throughout his entire career, he's only attempted 1 3-point shot. That's knowing what you're good at and sticking to what you know.
Can you believe that? 1 in his career. And this is his 5th year, as we talked about. Had a wrist injury and an off-season summer trip to Australia. Had surgery and was given a medical red shirt. He's very comfortable with his unorthodox style, Chris Holtman told us today. And yes, they work on his conditioning. Got to watch his weight. He's not athletic. He's not going to play above the rim, but he is a baller and a winner for Butler. Dunn is held there by Jones.
See that new rule coming into effect with the armbar out there, but look at Roosevelt Jones, how much he's improved over 1 year play. And this is a guy that when practice is quiet for Butler, they throw a competitive drill out there to get Roosevelt fired up, and then the team comes calling.
Lindsay in the corner buries a long shot. 3-pointer, 19th of the season for Jalen Lindsay, the sophomore from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Lindsay's athletic, and he really gives him a lot of good looks on the inside. For him to get an outside jump shot like that is money for Providence.
Jordan Gathers, nephew of Hank Gathers, into the game for the first time. Travis, nice spin move. Leads for Martin. Keelan Martin, lefty runner is short. Rebound, Bullock. Hands off for Dunn. Look at that move in the open court. Chris Dunn in the basket. And he's fouled. When we return, he shoots 2 free throws. It's that speed in the open court that makes Chris Dunn so dangerous, and a sure thing NBA star. Of the game to my kids that try to keep them just focused and relaxed. Now at home, a little bit different.
And one of the most personable coaches around. I mean, really gets it, emphasizes that it's important to have fun in college. And he gets guys in there. I talked to him about how he doesn't have any true centers on his team. As you look at Chris Dunn, the player of the year in the preseason in the Big East. And he said, I don't care. I want good guys to play hard. Because Golden State doesn't have too many big guys. We'll be fine.
Bentel out. Lamamba is back for Providence College here. Dunn missed 1 free throw there. If there's one weakness, it might be the shooting for Chris Dunn. But as Chris Holtman told us today, watch him, and in 2-3 years down the road in the NBA, he'll be a great three-point shooter. He has such a great upside.
Yeah, he does have a lot of upside. Look at right now in the game, the backup point guard is Roosevelt Jones. Yes, the same Roosevelt Jones. It doesn't have a great handle, but he does control the pace of the game.
Kyron Cartwright picks up his first foul there. Road to the Final Four continues Saturday on CBS Sports Network. Full slate of action highlighted by an American Conference showdown between Kevin Ollie's UConn Huskies and the Green Wave of Tulane in primetime, 7:30 Eastern, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Steve and I will be out in Logan, Utah for Utah State against Boise State in the Mountain West on January 5th. Looking forward to that one. Driving basket for Dunham. Can he finally get going? He has had a wicked, forgettable slump over the last 4 games. Answer for Bullock, top of the key. The trailing 3 ball, he's got 8 points.
We've talked about transition on both sides. That time, nobody picked up Bullock in transition. On makes and misses, Providence is going to get out and run.
Dunham looking for back-to-back Jackson miss. Look at Jones hustle, and he's fouled. Back to John.
We're seeing a change in the lineup for Butler right now. Keelan Martin has shifted to the 4, giving the Bulldogs a more skilled look. This is the lineup that they used when they upset Purdue a couple of weeks ago at the Crossroads Classic. Skill over size.
Such a big signature win, John, over a team a lot of people think with Matt Painter and the Boilermakers are capable of making the Final Four. Do you think so too, Steve?
All right, Purdue is like Noah's Ark. They got 2 of everything.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, they have big guys in there that can play. And Butler shut out the 2 big studs. Austin Hammond for Purdue.
Jones drives in for 2 more. 5 of the first half for the redshirt senior out of O'Fallon, Illinois, just outside St. Louis. 6 double-doubles this year. A great assist man. He averages 5 dimes a game. That's 3rd best in the Big East. Bentel down low. Too far to the basket, couldn't finish. Travis the scrap. This is where Jones is so dangerous. The finish just like that off the glass.
Providence now has to calm that crowd down, and that's not going to help out. Great defense by Butler. You watch Jones get to the basket, going away from the basket, shooting away from his body and using the backboard. That's a lost art. And when he gets it within 5 feet, that ball is going to go in, or he's going to get fouled.
Do you remember that game against 8th-ranked Gonzaga in 2013? Only top 10 matchup, top 15 between 2 teams here at Hinkle. And it was won by Roosevelt Jones, a last-second shot, 64-63. A big game, big-time player. Caused the turnover on the other end, and a foul call here on Dunn. That's his second.
And that second foul is important in the first half. The only game that Providence lost this year was when Dunn fouled out of the Michigan State game. And you see Bullock coming in for Dunn. Cartwright will go to the point, the left-handed point guard.
Martin left alone in the inbounds play, and Keelan finishes easily. Keelan Martin told us today pregame he likes the 6-man role. Of course, all-state captain, high school player. Offensive foul on Bentel. That's That's his second. So the two Friar Stars, Bentel and Dunn, have 2 each. That's a headline.
That is big, and you know, when you look at Dunn, who's a facilitator, and Bentel, the big guy that can play both inside and outside, that's a huge development for Providence.
Tom Planek into the game for the first time here for Providence. Block. Bullock baseline on Jones. What a rejection.
You know, Dave, you got to look at the fouls. There's new rules changes over here. Dunn is going to come through. He's over here in the corner. Barely seen back there. Now watch. Now he's over on the right side. It's hard to tell. The armbar rule means you cannot hold, you cannot put your arm on them. But that was a very, very light foul. Now the Bentel one was a little bit heavier.
Jones floats. Flat iron this time. Martin could not follow up. Cartwright bumped it away to the basket before the shot, says Brian O'Connell. Jordan Gathers, his first. The grad student transfer from St. Bonaventure and nephew of the late great Hank Gathers of Loyola Marymount. And prepping for this game, you read a little bit about Hank Gathers, how great he was, and such a tragic circumstance, collapsing in that West Coast Conference tournament game against Portland.
Bo Kimball shooting the left-handed free throw in the game against Michigan. Gathers on cue, knocks down the 3 ball.
Uncle Hank can be proud of Jordan Gathers there. How about it?
It's important for Providence to get their sea legs underneath them, and that means Cartwright as a point guard running the show and trying to get guys in positions to score.
Planek only played in 7 games so far this year. Bullock can't finish. Lindsay knocks it over the backboard. Butler ball. This is not the same team without Bentel and Dunn on the court. Losing one is bad. Losing both is a disaster for Providence College.
But I think last year, if you take, for example, they were losing to Butler at halftime. And Ed Cooley said, forget about the starters. He benched all the starters except Dunn, put in 2 walk-ons and 2 lower subs that scored less than 2 points a game and came out with a victory. And that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to play like junkyard dogs here with those 2 on the bench.
Keelan Cartwright, nice dish down low, and Bullock is fouled on the way up. Free throw is for Bullock when we return to Indy. Chris Dunn has got 2. Ben Bentel has 2 fouls. Butler leads 22-17. Largest first half lead for Butler in our Big East showdown today. Steve Wolf, let's describe some of these great Big East teams with one word. What do you have for us?
Yeah, very easy for Villanova. They're a great team. They play well together. They move the ball. And then you have the Xavier team that's very deep. They're like Noah's Ark, 2 at each position. And in Providence, you've got to be happy with Dunn. I know you have Bentel, but Dunn does it all. And for Butler, I just think they're very scrappy. They've always been scrappy. They're Bulldogs, buddy.
Well, I sure hope Kellen Dunham can get it going. Earlier today, Villanova just drilled Xavier for the Musketeers' first loss of the season, 95-64 on their campus arena.
Well, thoughts and prayers go out to Edmund Sumner, who's one of the best freshmen in the Big East. Went out with a head injury. He's carted off the court when it was 4-4 in the first half. And really, I think it rattled the Xavier players. But Villanova and Jay Ryan, they got a great squad, especially playing in that pavilion.
And guys, you know, I got word a little while ago from a Xavier spokesman that Edmund Sumner has been taken to Paoli Hospital in Philadelphia. He is undergoing CAT scans right now. He is talking and in his use of all his extremities. So we will continue to monitor that situation moving forward throughout the day.
John, thanks for the update. I know you tweeted that out a few moments ago as well. It was only 4-4 first half. Early in the game when Sumner got hurt, and obviously to see that happen for your teammates just got to be so traumatic and tough to overcome. And Xavier was not close today to Villanova.
Yeah, not to take anything away from Villanova. They are a solid team. Arcidiacono, I mean, just was on fire in that first half and got him an 18-point lead on his own.
He had 27 for the day. Lewis with 4 to shoot. The step back for Tyler Lewis. A back iron miss. Martin keeps it alive briefly. Baseline. Butler ball. Join us in the hardwood. College basketball action continues Saturday on CBS Sports Network. Doubleheader of women's action highlighted by Jose Fernandez and those 20th ranked USF Bulls in the American Conference taking on East Carolina at 1 Eastern right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Dunham Jones back in. Gathers, takes a seat, as does Lewis for Butler. Will Dunham get going? It's such a big theme for Butler. His last three-pointer came December 12th against Tennessee. He has been frozen cold from long range. One of the all-time great Butler shooters.
Yeah, it's right now, at this point, it's mental. I saw him pregame, and he probably hit 25 in a row from different spots on the court, so it's not mechanical. Yeah, he's just got to get in the lane or get to the free throw line to get some repetitions and feel a little bit better.
Mamba gets to the low left block, Steve, establishes and banks it in for his first bucket. Junior from Montreal. Went to high school in Madison, Wisconsin, the Cleveland State transfer.
Ed Cooley says he does everything nobody wants to do, and you're going to see an offensive foul on Travis. Providence, Dave, has talked about making sure they make it hard for the guards to get any open shots. You see right there, Cartwright making Lewis take a step-back shot. They're doing the same thing with Dunham. They're doing the same thing with Travis. Butler's got to get more offense, out of their sets.
Edwards up top, 50 to shoot here for Providence. No Dunn, no Benson. Hanging in, down by 1. Long range rip there from Lindsay, not close, didn't hit the rim, so Lamamba with 3 to shoot, just grazed the iron on another bad 3 miss. Not a good Friar possession. Here's Martin, pulls up and hits from 15, a 2-pointer. Keelan Martin's second, Dunn still on the bench. He sat, second foul with 9:44 to go in the first half. Ben Bentel, 24 seconds later, got his second, also sitting next to Ed Cooley on the Friar bench.
Martin is the guy that Cooley is worried about. That's the one guy that he said is the X factor that they have to keep an eye on for Butler.
Bullock pulls up, rattles round and out, and Martin, defensive glass. We asked Keelan today, do you know who Vinnie Johnson, the microwave, was? He had no idea. Long range shot, front arm miss. I said, Google Vinnie Johnson, instant offense. There's some good offense from Jones. Weak side follow-up, he's got 9 in the first half, and Butler leads by 5.
You gotta ask Roosevelt Butler who Bob Pettit was. Jeez, oh Pete, that's beautiful. Johnny on the spot, getting the stick back. You don't have to be flashy to be good in this game, and love how Roosevelt Jones plays.
It's not pretty, but it's all good with Roosevelt Jones.
Wins are pretty, and he wins
a lot. Keelan Cartwright, kick out, Lamamba pulls up from 10. Rattles out, Providence really struggling. Over the back foul against the Friars.
You know, I think right now, as we talked at the timeout, Dave, is that I think you have to look at Dunn or Bentel, probably Dunn before Bentel, if the game gets to 8 points. Right now, they're down by 5, playing okay defense, but I don't put him in unless this game starts getting a little bit out of hand.
And that was Bullock's second, so 2 fouls each now, Bentel, Bullock, and Dunn. And free throw time here for Keelan Martin. Planek back into the game, who only averages 0.4 points a game. Planek has not played much for Providence. Hasn't been needed, but foul trouble brings him off the bench. One more here for Martin.
You know, Martin, in his last 5 games at Hinkle, he's 11 for 17 from 3-point range, and he's really stroking his free throws. Leading scorer right now, or second leading scorer behind Jones. That's 6.
It's a pair there. 10th in the Big East in scoring. Keelan Cartwright. Top of the key, a miss.
That's not a good shot. That's not a good shot. No offense. You got to move the ball around and try to get the ball at least inside the Bullock.
Martin again, quick trigger, back iron miss. Travis rebound. Dunham is He's fouled on the way to the basket. And we'll shoot a couple.
I like what Dunham's doing, getting in the paint. He's really putting his gun back in his holster, and he's not shooting a three ball, getting, especially as they shoot it so well. Last time they played and beat Providence, Butler was 20 for 20 from the free throw line. As you see, all three of the starters coming back, Bentel, Bullock, and Dunn, all with 2 fouls.
And Keelan Cartwright just picked up his second. So here's Dunham. 3rd all-time Butler history in threes made, but as we've talked about, he's been slumping. In the last several games, 0 for 16 from three-point range. The last 3, 2 for his last 27, 7% his last 4 games. They need him badly, but still playing well with a 9-point lead.
Yeah, they beat Purdue without him, and that says a lot about how good the supporting cast is for Butler.
Wow, that's not even close to the basket there for Bentel off the bench. Missed so badly off of Butler.
You're going to see right now on the defensive end, Providence has to start taking it to the basket. Butler on their side, you see Dunn get the easy 2. Butler's got to do the same thing. They want to go right at Bentel. I think Bentel and Dunn, more so than Bullock, are the guys you want to target, but get good shots. Try to get that 3rd foul, but you see Providence playing a zone to alleviate it.
Dunn on baseline now. That was the first field goal for Dunn. Weidman! The feed from Roosevelt Jones. Tyler Weidman, look out below. What a pass from Jones up top.
How invaluable is Jones to this team? Great pass.
Dunn trying to take the game over here. Way strong on that floater in the paint. Jones another rebound.
He looked from the hash mark.
Bouncing for Stravis, tough catch. Keelan Martin floats, can't score. Bullock the rebound, here comes Dunn.
Jones looked pretty quick on that defensive play on Dunn, but if you don't have transition, you need to get something out of the half-court offense. Good transition defense by Butler.
Stand and go here at Hinkle. Bentel, another long-range miss. Martin, baseline rebound. Providence 2 for its last 13. Ice cold. Dunham, there's one. It's a 2-pointer, but it's got to feel good for Dunham. La Mamba lost it. They love Dunham here in Indy, and they know what that means to their team, and Dunham to hit a shot.
Well, you talk about your forward, your guard. Garden Bentel is a big man. What a beautiful pass from Roosevelt Jones to Weidman.
11-point Butler lead. This Big East showdown on New Year's Eve from Hinkle, sold out again. Take a look at today's Enterprise pick to watch here, Steve.
Yeah, Dunn has sat out a little bit with the 2 fouls, but Jones has been getting it inside, and really the biggest difference in this game is the points in the paint. 20 points in the paint for Butler. Providence only has 10. And I think that right now with Bentel in foul trouble, that's problematic for Providence.
Our basketball insider John Rothstein keeping a close eye on the Edmund Sumner situation, injured today for Xavier against Villanova. John, how's he doing?
Well, guys, great news. Edmund Sumner, I've just learned, has been released from the hospital, and Chris Mack has just tweeted that he will be accompanying Xavier on their flight home to Cincinnati. So some great news about Edmund Sumner there, guys.
That is great news. One of the great freshman guards in this conference. Played against another one today. Brunson plays for Villanova. He's superb, and the Big East has got some guys this year that are lighting it up nationally, really playing good, solid basketball.
We'll wonder, of course, if Sumner will be available for Saturday's showdown against Butler at the Cintas Center in Cincy. Doesn't get any easier for X taking on the Bulldogs Saturday. What a start to the Big East schedule for them at Villanova, home to Butler.
Butler now in a 2-3 zone. It's going to be important to get the ball inside to Bentel in the middle. He's a good passer. Get the ball inside to Bentel.
Foul call Lamamba on the way up. Travis incredulous.
If you're Providence, you're glad that Lamamba, who's not a shooter, gets fouled on this. I'm not really sure. It looked like he lost it going up. Lamamba's not the guy you want taking shots. He's more of your glue guy, rebounds. That's 2 fouls on Travis. But Providence is doing what we talked about, Dave, right? Getting to the point in the paint, trying to be aggressive.
12th ranked Providence, 12-1 this year, 6-game win streak. They are not going to panic. Ed Cooley is a great coach and will have a plan B, C, and D based on how the first half has gone here. They have trailed at halftime 4 times this year, including recently to in-state rival Bryant, and rallied, except for the one time, their one loss, that was against Michigan State at the Wooden Classic out in Fullerton, California. Lamamba, front iron miss.
So if you're Butler, you want to get good shots, run a little clock. As you see the zone by Providence, Providence has to make sure that they Dunn's out of the game now. Bullock doesn't get his 3rd foul.
Lewis, former McDonald's All-American. On the baseline for Martin. Hits another. I'm telling you, he's got to Google and go to YouTube on Vinny Johnson. He is the microwave off the bench. Maybe one of the best in the country like that.
But Ed Cooley's got to be disappointed that they're not finding him. He told us all day today how good Martin is. So it's not like they weren't saying you got to find Martin on the defensive end, but 30 is getting wide open and getting easy shots too.
50 to shoot here. Vinny Johnson, different position. About a 6-foot guard, but he was just incredible for Chuck Daly and those champion Piston teams.
He was built more like Roosevelt Jones.
That's right. Shot a bit better, though. Bullock fouled on the way to the basket with 5 to shoot. 2 free throws coming up here for Providence. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Dana Jacobson and Doug Gottlieb. NCAA news and notes. First half highlights and stats from here in Indy as well. It's all coming your way on AT&T at the half.
Shots for Providence.
2 fouls now on Tyler Weidman of Butler. So a lot of guys in our game today have 2. Bullock has 1 more free throw. Leads the way for the Friars, and all scores with 11 first half points. After a little medical treatment, Travis is okay.
In the last 3 minutes, Providence has really been efficient getting to the basket, trying to get to the free throw line. Only shoot 28% to the 61% by Butler. Butler's getting a lot of easy buckets.
Sophomore from Hampton, Virginia, Fred Cooley. Rodney Bullock hurt his leg preseason camp. Last year had surgery, missed the entire year. After missing a year due to some off-court issues, returning to Providence this season, been very effective. Now need him today, final 25 seconds and counting in our first half from Hinkle.
I love this new rule. Right now, Lewis can stay out there as long as he wants because of the 30-second clock. There is no 5-second rule this year.
Dunham, back iron, missed on a 3. Baseline scrap, Martin can't find it, 3 seconds and a half. Cartwright, way strong off the glass. Butler by 11 at the break.
Right. Butler did exactly what they wanted to do. They got the ball inside. Martin gave Butler some superb minutes with 8 points in the first half.
John is joined by Butler coach Chris Holtman.
Coach, you did a tremendous job getting Providence in foul trouble in the first half. How much was that a part of the game plan?
Well, obviously their two best players got in foul trouble, John. So that was important. They're not in foul trouble now. They got out of the half with just 2. So it's going to be a war in the second half here.
You were very concerned prior to the game about Tyler Weidman's matchup with Ben Bentel. How do you think he's answered the bell?
You know, I think he's been okay. He's missed a couple scouting reports, details that he needs to do a better job with. But, you know, Tyler's a fighter and a battler. He's got a big assignment. Ben's a terrific player and a really hard matchup.
Best of luck in the second half.
Thanks, John.
Dave?
John Ben Bentel, 4 points, 2 of 6 shooting, only 1 rebound in the first half. Not a big factor at all. End of the opening 20 from here in Indy, 36-25. Butler lead on number 12 Providence. After the break, stay tuned for AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network. Big East style today from Hinkle in Indy. And ninth-ranked Butler, great first half from Roosevelt Jones with 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in 17 minutes. Steve, as we take a look at the opening first half numbers, what do you think?
Well, 2 things come out right there. It's talking about the percentage, field goal percentage, and then down here the points in the paint. Both of those are really connected. You get the ball inside, you're going to shoot a better percentage. And Providence started going to the basket late in the first half. They have to continue doing that.
Rodney Bullock, only double-figure scorer in our game today. 12 points, 5 rebounds, first half of Providence. Opening possession for the Bulldogs. Travis, front iron on the righty runner, and Dunn. Athletic rebound offensively for Providence. La Mamba running, and he's fouled on the way to the basket. Back to John.
Well, guys, I just talked to Ed Cooley. He said the biggest thing that Providence talked about at halftime, limiting Butler on the offensive glass and also limiting them in transition. He feels like they're playing halfway decent considering the foul trouble. If they can do those things, put the ball in the basket a little bit more, they'll be right back in this basketball game.
Foul there, John, on Jones, his second. So a lot of players, 2 fouls. And Lamama has 1 more free throw here for Providence College. Ed Cooley told us pregame, look, this is just 1 game. We've got 18 in the Big East. It's a great league. Could be a 5-6 bid league into the NCAA tournament this year. Of course, you want to win it. You got to have a good, solid showing to get things going in the Big East Conference.
I don't think Ed Cooley would believe me if I told him that Lamamba would have 1 less point than Bentel. Lamamba's not a scorer. Bentel has to get going here in the second half.
Dunham with 9 to shoot. Blocked away. La Mamba elevates and rejects. Dunn. The and one for Chris Dunn. Spectacular move to the basket.
La Mamba, the glue guy, stepping in and helping out. Good block, and that block leads a transition. And Dunn, when he's in the open court, there's nobody can stop him, and it's Lewis now picking up his 3rd foul. And that's important because the backup point guard is Roosevelt Jones for the Butler Bulldogs.
7 in the game for Dunn, completes a 3-point play. Came in 3rd in the conference in points per game behind Ben Bentel, his teammate, at 18 points a game. Henry Ellison of Marquette, 16.8 for Ellenson. Jones gets physical, gets fouled. He'll shoot 2.
The position that Jones gets on Lindsey was so deep in the paint. When he gets deep in the paint, because he's so thick, and he's also got quick movements, he's able to get to the basket. And you see, he's just so deep in the paint, you cannot let him get the ball there. You got to push him away from the basket and deny the post.
When Roosevelt Jones plays, and again had that injury that cost him the season, Butler's 83 and 35. Bottom line, Roosevelt Jones, his production mean Butler wins.
Well, and they actually had a losing record the 1 year he sat out with the injury. So he has started 114 consecutive games for the Bulldogs.
Bentel, nice catch on the down low bounce pass from Dunn. But Providence cannot convert. Jones in the open court. Almost always takes it to the basket. It's a wild shot off the top of the backboard. And a miss there. Butler does keep it. Chris Holtman told us that very thing could happen today. Jones might have a ball off the side of the backboard, ball off the head, something just wild happening. He's so Unorthodox, at times unathletic, but so productive.
Whatever he does after college, I would love to get him on my rec league. If he doesn't play in the pros someplace, which I think he can play someplace overseas, but he makes some unbelievable rec league moves.
Travis, front iron miss, get physical down low. Jones is pushed, foul against PC.
That may be Butler.
That is on the Friars number 5.
And that is his third.
Team second.
Foul trouble is a big headline today.
We use that word scrappy to describe the Butler program and the Butler team. I mean, they're very talented, but to be talented and also scrappy is a great recipe. And Roosevelt Jones really brings that to the table for these Bulldogs.
Butler scores almost 90 points a game, second best in the nation behind the Citadel. Lewis up top. Wow, way short on a 3-try. It's not the typical high-flying, high-scoring game for Butler, but they're in control. Travis. Here's Weidman for 2.
Weidman may be the most improved player on this team. He's got 5 points, and he averaged 2 points last year. He only averaged 2 points. Played a little bit, but now getting it done on the offensive end.
Blocked down low, and Lindsey thought that might have been goaltending. As we look into some foul trouble, but look with 3. Dunn, Bentel, Keel, and Cartwright, a pair of fouls each.
Well, while Bentel's in the game, you have to feed him the ball. He's got Travis on him. Need to get the ball into the post and get him involved offensively.
Edwards rattles around and drops. That's a big 3 there for Drew Edwards, the freshman from Perry Hill, Maryland, outside Baltimore. His first points and 7th 3 made of the season. Friars badly needed that one. Dunham off a screen. Back iron miss on a 3-try, and the ice-cold streak from outside the arc continues for Kellen Dunham. Edwards back-to-back jacks, you bet. That's a response for Drew Edwards, the freshman.
That's a secondary transition break, so pushing the ball after a miss and then getting it in Providence now on a 12-4 run to start the second half. Basically out of transition. He walked.
Traveling call. Jones, Butler's 6th turnover of the day.
Well, you see Dunham comes out on Dunn, but Jones is late getting out on Edwards. You see him following through that 3-ball. You have to know where the shooters are every time on the court. Same with Providence finding Martin.
Edwards back-to-back 3s, first bench points of the day for Providence. And the 1-2 for Ben Bentel. Crashing the boards, and he knocks it in off the glass on the tip. Half a dozen for Bentel, and how about the 8-0 Friar run here to cut it to a 3-point game? Jones floats, a righty runner is short. Lamam on the rebound. Here comes Providence. Look at the feed to Dunn, who elevates and finishes with the hammer. Look out below. Chris Dunn soaring and scoring, and what a pass by Lamamba to set it up. Wow.
Right now, Butler is on the ropes. So they need to find a way to get the ball inside, whether to Weidman or get there via a dribble of Jones, but they need a bucket right now.
Did you see how quickly Chris Dunn elevated and stuffed? Miss Dunham foul call. Jones. It's a foul on Jones down low. If so, that is his 3rd.
Big East, returning player of the year from La Mamba. Flushing it on the road. Historic Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Providence has a plus 5.1 turnover margin. That's best in the Big East Conference heading into this opener and showdown against number 9 Butler. And Ed Cooley knows that defense can lead to offense, Steve.
You talk about getting out in transition. The long block shot leads to a Dunn in transition, and that's important because that was Lewis's 3rd foul. Again, another missed shot. You're not waiting. Lamamba gets it out, cross court to Dunn, who flushes it, which is emphatic, quiets the crowd here at Hinkle Fieldhouse. But Providence is really going out there and trying to keep that tempo going, run it up and down the court to match Butler's transition.
Dunn 9 points and 2 rebounds, 3 assists so far, and a triple-double earlier this year. Second of his career against Hartford, 16 points, 14 assists, 10 boards, 10th triple-double in Providence history. Capable of just about anything on the court is Chris Dunn. The aspect of him being such a great defender makes him just spectacular.
He almost had a quick quadruple-double against Hartford, which is amazing to me. That's hard, but he does what Coach Cooley wants him to do, and he is doing it very well.
Backdoor cut. Layup miss there from Edwards, trying to stay hot. Out of bounds in the corner, and Butler gets it back. There are 12 NBA scouts in attendance today, many of whom are here, of course, to watch Chris Dunn. But there are some other players on the court today I think would probably be on their radar. Bentel's interesting. Jones, the back in for 2.
Well, you saw Lamamba go down, and the new rules are they're not looking at flops, and it looked like it didn't take the full brunt of it. Jones was able to lay it in after Lamamba went down.
Bullock open. Long 3 for Rodney Bullock. That's his 3rd triple a day and 15 points, a team best for Rodney, the sophomore from Hampton, Virginia. Got 4 double-doubles this year. Been a big facet of the Providence success story. Left low block, Jones foul on the lean-in. Roosevelt has not lost his aggressiveness, Steve, despite the 3 fouls.
No, and I'll tell you what he does is he feels the defender. Lamamba was close to him. He just pushed into him a little bit, got a little spacing, and then made Lamamba come out on him. Foul him, so and Jones has to continue doing that, but really right now, the way Providence is getting the ball out and shooting the 3 ball, Dunham has got to start playing a little bit better. He only has 6 points. He's 2 of 8 or 2 of 9 from the field. He needs to be part of this offense.
66th career double-figure game for Roosevelt Jones, now to 14 points on the afternoon. Only twice this year against Missouri State with 6 points, Indiana State with 7 as Dunham checks out. Has Jones fallen short of at least 10 points. What a career he's had. That guy missed 2nd free throw. Travis, the hustle, the scrap, and the tie-up. Possession arrow points to Providence.
Good hustle by Shrabitz. Weidman was in there tipping the ball around. They need to continue to be aggressive on that offensive end. Providence has got their sea legs back. I mean, they're moving the ball. They're in rhythm. Have a chance now to take the lead for the first time in a long time.
Game's been tied 5 times. 3 lead changes so far. And Providence can make it 4 on this trip. Done as hell. Try matching him up. How do you check this guy?
We got Weidman, who's 6'8", guarding the 6'4" Dunn. And Dunn, he moves with the ball just like he moves without the ball. That ball's part of his hand. He's a very skilled ball handler.
That was the court speed he told us about, up and down?
Yeah, he can get up and down the court in less than 8 seconds. That's scary quick.
Edwards soars in for 2. Drew Edwards, the freshman, off the Providence bench, has 8. Gathers back into the game. It's been a long time since Providence has had a lead.
First lead since 10:40, and Edwards has all 8 of those points in the second half. And here he comes up with a 50-50 ball.
How about that? He's been something. Edwards had his best game in his career, had 17 points against Bryant. Only double-figure game in his career, hit 5 threes for Providence. And we're seeing some of that offensive output here today. Bentel left all by himself. It's a 3-ball top of the key for Ben Bentel.
Clicking on all cylinders. Providence. Bentel going inside early and now outside, taking Travis away from the basket.
First 3 of the day for Ben Bentel. And 14th triple this season. Travis, jump hook in the paint, short, front iron. Rebound for Bullock. John told us, top of the broadcast, how Bentel has improved his game. Quantum leap, I believe Mr. Rothstein said.
He's on the all-legacy team, wooden all-legacy team.
Dangerous.
Really opened up some eyes early this year.
Dunn foul away the basket. He is just too quick.
Bulldogs 5, Jordan Gathers, his second fifth on the team.
Well, guys, you know, it's interesting. When you think of the best point guards in college basketball, they normally play for John Calipari at Kentucky. But I don't think there's any doubt that if you put Chris Dunn on Kentucky right now in place of Tyler Ulis at point guard, people would be making an everyday comparison to guys like John Wall. He has that type of ability.
I totally agree with you, John. I mean, he actually has maybe a little more skill, I think, on the defensive end. John Wall, a good defensive player, but I think that Chris Dunn is in the great category. And talking to other coaches that play against him, say he's so good and strong defensively that the referees sometimes don't call real fouls because they're not sure if it's a foul or not, because he's that good defensively.
Came back for his junior season. His sisters in high school in New London, Connecticut. It was one reason he wanted to come back, to get closer to his degree. Got a chance to graduate before he surely will be in the NBA next year.
Well,
Gathers up top. Back iron. Won't drop for him.
That's a nice push off.
Lambamba. Can't finish, but there's Dunn who had that pass. Try the over-the-shoulder layup attempt. A second crack at it. Can't convert. Lewis is running. Wow, he's held hard.
Good defensive play.
Literally the whole 10 yards. First down.
I think what he was going after was the ball. It looked a lot worse than it was. He was going after the ball to try to tie him up. But that was a good run out by Butler, trying to get some of that pace going. That's what Lewis adds to the Butler offense. Transfer out of NC State and McDonald's All-American. You talk about Dunn and how good he is. Malik White, kid from Richmond's going to be the point guard next year, and Coach Cooley was just bragging about, you know, how the point guards from Providence will continue to get better. So he always looks for the point guard first.
Lewis shoots 89%. First point of the day for Tyler. 3-point game. Dunn, the post up. Tough play down low for Chris Dunn.
And he really opened up this game. I think that fast break dunk that he had got the team going, and his defense continues to be problematic for Tyler Lewis, even getting any shots off anywhere on the court right now.
Nice move to the basket by Gathers, but he can't finish on a wide open layup try. Dunn bouncing for Bullock. Thinking about a three. Back iron missed this time. Tip almost went in. Loose change, Gathers.
I think Cooley said he's going to make it a street fight, and so far, Providence is winning this second half street fight.
Lewis up top, can't convert. Keelan Martin, long offensive rebound to the basket for two.
Little dipsy doodle on that. Weidman getting to the basket and finishing.
10 for Martin, third Bulldog in double figures. Providence College in our Big East showdown from Hinkle, a 3-point lead. Let's go inside the Butler huddle with head coach Chris Holtman.
Too much on our own here, okay? Trying to do too much on our own, okay? It's a long-ass game. Just win the possession. Don't be chump. Get good looks. You gotta play hard around there. You gotta scrap more. You gotta be more locked in, okay? They're playing harder than us down there at the loose ball. Here, we gotta help each other with it, okay?
You heard Coach talking about making sure it's a long game. Play within ourselves. We're trying to do too much on our own. That means let the offense gel a little bit, but on defense, everybody's got to go for the loose balls. I think the coach Holtman feels like they're losing the 50-50 battle. Providence a little tougher getting loose balls.
21-7, Friar run to take the lead here. Teams have cooled down a bit though, 2 for their last 11 combined. Warriors 3 of 16 shooting in the second half. And again, hate to belabor the point, but Kellen Dunham has not been a factor. He's not out there right now. Leading scorer for Butler. One of the all-time greats, third most threes made. The three-point drought continues. They're going to need him if they're going to make a real run at the championship this year.
They have to get him in the flow of it. He's got to get some easy buckets. He's working way too hard to get step-back jump shots.
Austin Etherington in the game, getting playing time here for Butler. Transfer from Indiana. Bentel 5 to shoot. Dunn, the post up, double team, needs some help. 2 to shoot, and they won't get it off. Shot clock violation. Another timeout. Chris Dunn, 11 points. 5 rebounds, 5 assists. We know he can do it. A triple-double could happen again today here in Indy for Dunn. Chris Dunn at Providence, 3-point lead on 9th-ranked Butler. Just under 11 to go in our second half from historic Hinkle.
Chris Dunn has lived up to his reputation. All these scouts watching him, gets to the hoop when they need a shot, and then in transition, he runs and fills the lanes. But under the basket, he is probably the chief fighter in this group of Friars on the floor. Talked about making it a street fight. Dunn has come out with his fist in the second half.
First ever Friar to be named Big East Player of the Year last season. The 6th all-time, the Big East Player of the Year and Offensive Player of the Year in the same season. Comparing he and Roosevelt Jones, our key matchup. What do you see here, Steve?
You look at, I think both are playing hard. I think that they're not the problems on either side. In the first half, I think Bentel was not involved in the game, and for Butler, it's really Dunham. There's other guys, as you see Dunham sitting on the bench right now, not in it with 10 minutes to go here in this game. Both of those guys have to step it up. Bentel's had a better second half.
Keelan Martin on the baseline. Here's Gathers for 3. Two threes today for Gathers. Ben Bentel, post up, right low block, finish. 11 points for Bentel. On 5 of 10 shooting. Martin, the response. You bet. Silky smooth touch.
So, okay.
Averaging 16.5 points a game at home this year is Keelan Martin, sophomore from Louisville. Bump foul. Gathers on Dunn.
Well, you see right here at the top of the key, you'll see where the ball is going to be coming through. You'll watch Gathers coming around over here. Oop. Bentel was stuck in the lane. You have to know where Gathers is. He shoots 46% from the three-point line, and nobody found him. Bentel way off in the post. That's what Dunham needs. Dunham needs to get a wide-open jump shot, to get him going. I think you could have made that shot.
Maybe. You see me shoot. I've got some decent range. Not bad.
You're getting old. You got to scoot in a little bit.
I am getting old. Dunham 2 for 9 shooting and 0 for 2 from three-point range in the game today. Bullock up top, thinking about a 3-ball. Buries it.
That time the defense was good by Schrabbis. But Bullock just kept moving out further and further along the post. Nobody there.
He's got 4 threes, 18 points to lead all scores. Keelan Martin pulls up. Balance shot. And nothing but net. 14 today for Martin. Answering, going back and forth here. Foul call.
Weidman and Bentel going at it on the low block.
3 fouls on Tyler Weidman, the sophomore from here in Indiana, Schererville, northern part of the state. Just the fringe of Chicagoland.
Now, I'm going to make a prediction. I was watching Dunham on the bench, and he sat down for about 3 minutes of running clock, and I think he's going to be ready. It's going to be important for this last 9-13 that he's involved in the game. I'm going to step out on a limb. I think he's going to hit his first 3.
Bentel rattles in the free throw. 77% free throw shooter coming in. And the last second tip in of the Chris Dunn miss at the buzzer in Kingston to beat Rhode Island in that Ocean State shootout earlier this year. So another big signature win on the road for PC this season. Because the Ryan Center is not an easy place to play. You're not called out of games there.
That's the Super Bowl, and that's the NBA Finals, the NCAA Finals, all rolled into one. Danny Hurley always coaches those guys up.
Backdoor play. Dunham, it just ripped out of his hands by Bentel. What an offensive play by Providence.
That's a man-sized block by Bentel.
Grabbed it. Nice anticipation, the overplay from Gathers. Travis runs and lays it in.
Jordan Gathers has given this Butler Bulldog team the scrappiness they need to compete against Providence, keeping them in the game.
Dunn, step back. Three ball, Chris Dunn, the response. His first three of the afternoon give him 14 points. 6 assists, 5 rebounds. He is sensational.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by AT&T. Mobilizing your world.
Chris Dunn taking over the game for Providence. 4-point lead. What's Ed Cooley talking about?
Gathers getting it out. Nice defensive play for the steal, and Travis finishing it. But then Dunn with the step back. Really good escape dribble to get himself a wide open three. Dunn with 14 points. You look at Ed Cooley, and right now, I'm not sure what you could tell this team. Providence really stormed back after being down at half. And they are playing the defense, I think, more importantly than anything. The best defense that they played so far has been in the second half.
Providence shooting 12 of 20. Second half here, Wolfie, 60%. And 6 of 7 in the second half from three-point range. Dunham back in. Now, I hate to keep saying this, but here are the numbers. Ready? 0 for his last 18 from 3. In the last 4 games, 2 of 29 from three-point range, 7%. Can Dunham, their best player, get this going here? Martin sure can. Strong move to the basket, and he's fouled. Tomorrow here on CBS Sports Network, we drop the puck on another season of college hockey with a top 20 showdown between 16th ranked Notre Dame, number 17 Denver at 9:30 Eastern, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
To follow up your point on Dunham, if he can't hit that jump shot, it doesn't stretch the floor.
Right.
They need guys. They have Martin who can stretch the floor, but Dunham needs to be that second three-point shooter to help them, get the ball and be able to advance the ball inside.
Keelan Martin trying to stay high. Lefty floater. Finishes again. He's got 16 today. Brilliant again off the bench.
And a lot of those scouts are going to be looking at him. I mean, he is really finesse. It's great finesse getting to the basket, knock down the three.
We saw Dunn picked up his third foul a moment ago. Bentel corner three ball too long. Free throw line defensive glass for Gathers. He's running with the left, can't finish. Travis. Put back try, miss. Battle down low. How about the guard Gathers amongst the bigs? Chance for a three-point play.
Travis in there fighting Jones with the rebound, but the littlest guy in there with the rebound. But Martin starts it off, getting in the paint, alleviates the inside contact by Bentel, and uses the opposite hand. I really like this Martin kid.
3 fouls on Dunn, 3 on Ben Bentel. Loose ball, Gathers. Here's Dunham. A 3-ball miss again.
Man, that was a step-in three. He was open. Gathers right now is my MVP for the Butler Bulldogs in the second half. Really doing a good job offensively and defensively, as you see the tip in by Bentel.
He is spectacular. What a leaper. And the follow for Ben Bentel. 15 points for him in this game now. Dunham is riding an 0 for 19 streak from 3.
That's 2-3 zone set up by Providence, and because they're looking at basically daring Dunham to hit that jump shot.
It's a great point, Steve. If he's not making those shots, it changes their offense dramatically.
You got Martin out there that can shoot the 3, gathers now and again. But Dunham is the guy that really is the key to get them over their hump. They're only down by 2 without him shooting well.
Dunn up top. Look at that 3 ball. His second 3. He's got 17 for the day. Last 2 field goals for Chris Dunn have been 3 balls. And the hot shooting continues in the second half for PC. Travis, the position, way strong.
He was
Bentel
so deep.
just stood there basically with the arms up, not wanting to pick up his 4th foul. And Travis missed badly.
Travis is so deep in the lane, all he had to do is lay it in. I don't think he realized how deep he was in the paint.
Right, he had no idea where he was there.
That was 4th foul on Bentel or an easy bucket.
Empty possession instead. Bullock, another 3 ball. Buries it! Rodney Bullock has hit 5 threes today. 21 points.
It was a great shot, but you got to credit Chris Dunn. Dribble penetration and kicking it.
Martin is fouled on the way up.
Well, you'll see Dunn right here. He's going to get in the lane, draw the defenders, and you're going to see the kick out for a wide open shot by Bullock. Draws both the defenders to him. Everybody trying to give a hands with him help because Dunn is so very good in the lane.
Dunn, 4th foul. John?
Well, guys, you know what's interesting? We expected Dunn and Bentel to play at an elite level. Today is the first Big East game ever for Rodney Bullock. He is answering the bell. Friars right now looking like they have 3 all-conference players.
Isn't he something? His prior career best, John, for threes made have been 1 in a game. He's hit 5 triples today for Providence College. His career best 24 points against NJIT earlier this year. He's got 21 now. Martin, some more free throws.
Butler now looks to be playing a zone.
Lob down low. Off the hands of Lindsay.
Well, Lamava at the top of the key. Not probably the guy you want passing that ball. He's more of a defender. Rebounder, you see, Dunn is going out of the game. Just taking a break. We'll put him in back in another minute or so. Just give him a break for the last 5 minutes of the game.
Got 4 fouls. Kyron Cartwright back in. Jones floats and hits. He's got 16. It's never pretty, but it's usually good.
I tell you, he stopped right on a dime, making sure he didn't get blocked by Bullock.
Good ball movement for Providence. Lindsay misses a 3. Gathers is running. Martin has been tremendous off the Bulldog bench. Jones gets the feed. Fake on Bentel. Somehow kicked it out to Gathers. Who hits the 3? It was all created by Jones' spectacular pass. How did he do it?
You talk about knowing your ability. He knew he had nothing. Instead of trying to shoot it, he gave it up for the assist.
Jordan Gathers has all 3 of Butler's threes today. Let's take a look at Jones. Did he land for a travel? Oh, he did.
He did.
I think he did, Steve Wolf. They got away with one. 3-pointer for Gathers. Great game. For the oldest arenas in college basketball, Hinkle Fieldhouse. His top 15 matchup, 2nd time ever. Last one, pretty easy to remember, only 2013 when Roosevelt Jones had that floater to beat Gonzaga. Then ranked number 8 on a last-second shot by 1. 64-63. And of course, Jones a huge star Now this year's Butler team with 16 points today, 6 rebounds, 4 assists in our huge Big East showdown to open conference play from Hinkle today on New Year's Eve.
It's a great Big East game and a great facility. I haven't been back in here since they put the $36 million into it with the
Isn't it great?
Seats. It's
beautiful.
Nice. But you got to give a lot of credit to Providence coming in, really done, and Bentel did nothing the first half. Dunn now with 17 points in the second half has taken the Providence Fire and put him on his back.
Bullock thinking about another 3. You better believe it. What a day for Rodney Bullock, who has now hit 6 threes. Continuing to light it up from long range, 24 points.
You know, if you're a fan, you're looking and saying, guard that three-point jump shooter, but Roosevelt Jones was so far out. Bullock just keeps moving back out. Looks like Jimmer Fredette.
Jimmer had just crazy range at BYU in college. Martin trying to respond. Rattles out with 3, almost went down. And Dunn has a loose change rebound for Providence. Playing with 4 fouls, as Steve correctly predicted, back in. Feed down low, Bullock. Blocked from behind. Bentel the scrap. Foul.
Bentel fighting hard, but watch his last three-point jump shot. Look how far. You're like, let him go, let him go. And he pulls up and he just drains it from NBA range. Roosevelt Jones not able to get over there in time. Bullock playing outstanding, as John pointed out, his first Big East game. 24 points, is that 6 of 9 from three-point range?
It is.
Wow.
Tremendous. Here's Bentel, born in Ghana in Africa. Played soccer and volleyball before coming to the U.S. Went to high school in Wilmington, Delaware. One of those late bloom type recruits. And Ed Cooley of Providence has made a living at that in his 5 years. Done so well in developing players.
He said, watch how he runs on the fast break. He's 6'8", but he gets out of there. He used some terms we probably won't use on television, but he gets out of there fast and runs the break, which really helps the point guards in that transition game that Providence loves to run.
Stravis open. Can't hit the 3. Offensive rebound for Drew Edwards, a freshman. Been effective today.
Travis has struggled 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 3 from behind the arc. Really, they're struggling with the outside game and still in it.
Butler is 3 of 13, Steve, from three-point range today. Not typical Bulldog ball. They average 7.5 threes made per outing. Good anticipation, overplay, steal for Martin. Dunham, he'll drive to the basket and finish. Timeout call by Butler. Never miss a moment of college basketball with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every score, every game, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now.
You know, Dave, when you talk about this Butler team, although Dunham is not shooting well, I guarantee everybody in the house is thinking the next shot's going to go in. And if you're Providence, you're definitely guarding him like it's going to go in. So when he's on the perimeter, you see right here, you got to come out and respect that jump shot. And he goes around Bullock and is able to score. So just the fact that he's got a nice stroke from outside, he's not hitting it now, open up that drive.
Well, guys, you know, they always say that if shooters aren't making shots from deep, they have to get things going by getting to the foul line and also getting to the tin. That is what Dunham is doing. A lights-out shooter, as we've seen throughout his career, but not knocking it down today.
Johnny averages 18.8 points a game in his career against Providence in 4 games entering play here today. And as we saw a moment ago, 3 of 12 for Dunham today, 0 for 3 from long range. Ed Cooley says slow things down. Now get the offense in motion. 2 minutes left in regulation and 10 to shoot.
Dunn, they're going to take Dunn to the basket, and he's going to score. He's going to give it up to somebody.
Look at the crossover move there, and Jones just can't keep up with Chris Dunn, who twice is crossing over.
But how many people can? That's why he is the reigning player of the year in the Big East. But that's a great tool to have at the end of the game.
Jones' 4th foul. Weidman out. He's got 4. And Travis back in here for Butler.
So right now, if you're Butler, either way, it's going to be a 2-possession game. Butler has to continue attacking the rim. Lots of time left, with 2 minutes left. You don't want to get settled for the 3 ball.
Dunn hits 2. 19 of the day for Dunn. Had 32 points against Harvard earlier this year, a new career best. 6-point game. 2 big free throws for the All-American. Jones with a 4 fouls. Trucks through traffic. The and 1 for Roosevelt Jones. This guy's unbelievable.
That's Bullock's 4th foul, but Jones just showing a young buck how it goes. Look at that move. I don't know how it goes in, but he throws it up before the outstretched arms are put up by Bullock. Like I said, he learned it in junior high, playing against old men in the church league, and he's still doing those church league moves.
3-point play for Jones. 1-possession game. Bentel, baseline, perfect for Ben Bentel.
9th assist for Dunn. It's a big shot.
19 for Bentel. Martin blocked away by Ben Bentel. On each end, gets it done. The run out for Bullock. And Jones is fouled out. With a minute 1 left in regulation, Roosevelt Jones' day is done.
We'll see Bullock coming over there. And they're saying that he hit the side of his hand. It's really hard to see. But I think he hit it a little bit. And it's just enough to make him miss that shot. Let's watch closely here. Yeah, he hit his hand, but whew, it's good hustle by Roosevelt Jones.
What a day here for Bullock, Steve. Tied his career best, 24 points. Make it 25, a new career high for the sophomore Rodney Bullock. 7 threes, best for anyone this year on the Providence roster, as they try to go to 13-1. So we know about the dynamic duo of Bentel and Dunn. Missed there, front iron, look at the play, down low, Lamamba. Travis the block from behind. The hustle, who's got it? Fireball. How about the 1-2? It's conference play time. We are seeing some desire on the floor, Steve Wolf.
Look at Gathers going over in the corner. I can't even see what that is. I know Lamamba was underneath the basket fighting. The refs are going to the monitor.
Inside 2 minutes, regulation overtime. You can take a look to see the ball was off of. A couple years back, that new rule implemented video replay. Let's take a really close look.
It was off bounds. Gather's elbow.
Think so?
I think it was off Gather's elbow.
Here's a good angle. Our great crew here in Indy.
You see his elbow over there?
Did that nudge the ball?
The last one I was able to see.
Left-handed touched it first. Here we go.
Let's see. Watch his elbow. You know what? It was Bullock's elbow. It wasn't Gather's elbow.
It's a hard Providence ball here, so you need the video evidence to overturn the call.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not me. That's going to be a tough one.
That's hard to tell.
That's the elbow right there.
And Gathers doing his very best. Great hustle there from the St. Bonaventure transfer, Jordan Gathers.
Big East basketball. How many guys are on the floor? Look at that. Great hustle by both of those guys. You know, you look at this replay. The second half, we talk about Bentel and Dunn. The guys that have really brought it and help this team to get it going. I think Edwards coming off the bench and having those 8 points early, and also obviously Bullock with his 25. This is going to be a big call, especially for Butler being down by 6 with 55 seconds left.
Brian O'Connell, Doug Shows, carefully looking at the replay provided by our TV production truck here in Indy.
I think the closest thing, they're going to have to keep it. If they call Providence ball, there's nothing there that shows me that it's anything different.
Sure, it looks like
Gathers right close to it
with that right hand a little bit. The last effort really breaking his fall. Looks like the ball changes directions a little bit and goes to the right slightly, but that's a very tough call to make.
I think that's probably the correct call. Not the popular call, but the correct call.
Just not enough video evidence that
Really
Steve rule that.
Yeah, now you look at the others being close enough to it. So right now, there's 25 seconds on the shot clock. You have to think about fouling if you're Butler. Maybe get him one turn.
Trouble inbounds play. Travis jammed a finger there.
Well, we know that was off Travis. It hit his hand.
Lamamba again some trouble with the inbounds play. Finds Edwards. Foul.
That's not a bad foul. Edwards, as well as he's playing right now, shooting 38% from the free throw line.
Fourth foul on Tyler Lewis, the redshirt junior point guard out of Statesville, North Carolina for Butler. So here's Edwards, the freshman from outside Baltimore. Ranked the 4th overall prospect in the state last year. Perfect on the first delivery. Only shoots 38% from the free throw line, but just 3 of 8 heading into this game today.
Yeah, but he has been outstanding coming in off the bench, given the spark for Ed Cooley's team. 2 for 2 from downtown early on in the second half.
4-star recruit hits 2 big free throws for the Friars. Now 3-possession game with 50 seconds left in regulation.
I still look at going to the basket.
It's Martin, pulls up. Back iron 3.
Nice
Travis
play.
loose change, but can't finish down low. Wow.
That was a great play by Lewis to tip it back to Travis. Travis has struggled the entire game. 2 for 10 from the field, 0 for 3 from behind the arc.
Lewis is fouled out here, Steve, with 39.3 seconds to go. So Lewis and Jones DQ today for Chris Holtman's Bulldogs.
Well, I think if you ask Coach Cooley about what do you want to do with Lewis, you want to take him out of the flow of the game, and he averages 9 points a game, and Dunn has shut him down only 1 point, really ineffective, and also fouled out. But I think when you look at Butler taking this one on the chin, possibly, they didn't play very well as a team, and I think that's unusual for the Butler Bulldogs. They're going to have to round into shape and get ready Saturday to play at the Cintas Center over at Xavier.
In your hometown, it'll be tough against X. Numbers, Lamamba hits the second. Dunham just will not go in for Kellen Dunham for 3-point range. Wow. He's 0-4 from beyond the arc. And 0 for his last 20 over 4 games now.
It's great hustle by Lindsay going in the stands. This Providence Ball Club, they talk about culture. The culture is going out and being fighters, street fighters, and they really came in the second half. And
it's a good thing those fans cleared out.
they really played solid basketball in the second half.
Dunham just can't get a roll. Oh, he feels so badly for the young man. And a foul on Keelan Martin on the rebound. That's his third. With 19.8 to go, Providence in great shape for a signature road win to open up Big East Conference play. Next up, they're at home at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Rhode Island against St. John's.
Well, realize Providence was up in the first half, or it was down in the first half by 11. And now they're up by 9. Big turnaround.
One more for Dunn here. Creighton beat St. John's. Another Big East game today by 10. And we told you about Nova just pounding Xavier 95-64.
21-point turnaround from the first half. That's amazing. That's a big second half.
Travis, front iron miss. Tip up and in there by Keelan Martin. He's up to 20 points today. He'll be a player to be reckoned with in the Big East. Clearly, Rodney Bullock will as well, under the radar for Providence. And this one will end at Hinkle. 12th ranked Providence moves to 13-1 and opens up the Big East Conference schedule in style with a win on the road at Butler, 81-73. The Friars have won 7 in a row. It's their best start since 89-90, when the Friars of that season went 13-0. Butler falls to 11-2, an 8-game win streak over for the Bulldogs.
Now in the second half, it was Edwards and Bullock that really pulled the Providence Friars into the lead. Getting some bench play from Edwards, and like you said, a star was born this afternoon with Bullock with 25 points on 6 of 9 from three-point land and 10 rebounds, another double-double.
A career best for Bullock with the 6 threes. And the most threes hit by a Providence player in a game this season. How about Rodney Bullock? Now clearly on the radar for other Big East coaches as the assistants prepare their scouts to take on Providence. John Rothstein, joined by Ed Cooley.
Coach, a tremendous victory to kick off Big East play. What was the biggest difference in the second half versus the first?
You know, I mean, we missed a lot of open shots. Foul trouble hurt us. And honestly, I told Chris, try to be the best player in the country with your energy. Find your players. Everybody stay confident. We knew we would go on a run. It just was confidence and mental toughness. Once again, I thought that was a culture win for us.
We know about Chris Dunn, we know about Ben Bentel, but your role players continue to get better. How much do you attribute that part of your program to the time you spent under Al Skinner at Boston College?
Well, Coach Skinner, who I love dearly, he's one of the best guys in the world. And when you can work for somebody like that, and he allows you to build your confidence as a coach, but more as a man, I feel like crying when I hear him, because that's why I'm here.
Happy New Year, Ed. Safe travels back.
Happy New Year.
You got it, Dave.
Emotional Ed Cooley. Great job, John. 81-73 the final. 12th ranked Providence in this Big East showdown on CBS Sports Network knocks off number 9 Butler. For Steve Wolf, John Rothstein, the entire crew, I'm Dave Bryan saying so long. Big win for Ed Cooley and Providence College. Now to the NCAA Men of March, Greg Marshall.